Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे हम दर्शन हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे हरे प्रभु जी ये टेम्पल कौन सी थी हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण राम हरे कृष्ण राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे हरे कृष्ण टेम्पल हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare, जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Raju Prabhu.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Rama, Rama
Raju Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
धन्यवाद प्रणाम प्रभुजी.
धन्यवाद प्रणाम प्रभुजी.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Gurudev. Hare Krishna, Sapan Prabhu. धन्यवाद प्रणाम. Prabhuji, can I make you host?
Yes, Prabhuji.
You are on laptop,
Yes,
right?
yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Every day మీరు laptop నుంచి connect కావాలి Prabhuji. Okay, please. Huh?
Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, can I make?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Sorry. Internet issue ఉండే. నిన్ను మిమ్మల్ని పోస్ట్ చేసిన ప్రభుజీ.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
I made you host Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much. Actually driving లో ఉన్నా మళ్ళీ connection.
Which temple, Prabhuji, that is?
Dallas temple. ISKCON Dallas.
Yeah, ISKCON Dallas. Yeah. 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 Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I'll drop out. You can continue. You all continue.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita
Hare Krishna, Raju Prabhu. Raju Prabhu?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, Dhanot Pranam.
Deepa
Prabhuji,
Mata
it seems... I didn't get you.
Deepa Mata जाए तो हम वेट చేస్తున్నాం Prabhuji जान can
Yeah, we will wait for 2 more minutes, Prabhuji. If she couldn't join, then you can lead the call, okay?
Sure Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Dandavad. Hare Krishna Mataji, Lavani Mataji, where we are now Mataji? Which local?
Yes, Prabhuji, I need to check, Prabhuji. Just a
Can you
second.
please check once? Yeah, can you please? Hare Krishna, Deepa Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yeah, you can make me the host.
Okay, Mataji. Yeah, you can start Mangalacharan.
Sorry for the delay, Prabhuji.
Yeah, it's okay.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanaतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। We'll start here. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Please tell me who I was in my previous birth, the Lord said. Please tell me by your astrological computations. Hearing the words of the Lord, the astrologer immediately began to calculate. Purport. Through astrology, one can know past, present, and future. Modern Western astrologers have no knowledge of the past or future, nor can they perfectly say anything about the present. Herein we find, however, that after hearing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order, the astrologer immediately began his calculations. This was not a facade. He actually knew how to ascertain one's past life through astrology. A still existing treatise called the Bhrigu Samhita describes a system by which anyone can immediately get information about what he was in the past and what he is going to be in the future. The Brahmanas who went door to door as if beggars had perfect command of such vast knowledge. Thus the highest knowledge was easily available even to the poorest man in society. The poorest man could inquire from an astrologer about his past, present, and future with no need for business agreements or exorbitant payments. The Brahmana would give him all the benefit of his knowledge without asking remuneration, and the poor man in return would offer a handful of rice or anything he had in his possession to satisfy the Brahmana. In a perfect human society, perfect knowledge in any science, medical, astrological, ecclesiastical, and so on, is available even to the poorest man with no anxiety over payment. In the present day, however, no one can get justice, medical treatment, astrological help, or ecclesiastical enlightenment without money. And since people are generally poor, they are bereft of the benefits of all these great sciences. Hare Krishna. Samyukta Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Through calculation and
ఫలితాలు రావడం వల్ల సంతోషం కలుగుతుంది. వాళ్ళకు స్థిరాస్తి వదలమంటే కొద్దిగా ప్రయత్నం చేసుకుంటే పరిష్కారం అవుతాయని చెప్పవచ్చు. కీరస్వామి యొక్క అదృష్టం.
Thank you. Translation. Through calculation and meditation, the all-knowing astrologer saw the greatly effulgent body of the Lord, which is the resting place of all the unlimited Vaikunta planets. Purport. Here we get some information of the Vaikunta world or spiritual world. Vaikunta means without anxiety. In the material world, everyone is full of anxiety, but another world where there is no anxiety is described in the Bhagavad Gita 8.20. Parastasmatu bhavanyo vyakto vyaktat sanatanaha yassa sarveshu bhuteshu nasyatsu na vinashyati. Yet there is another unmanifest nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is. As there are many planets within the material world, there are many millions of planets called Vaikuntha Lokas in the spiritual world. All these Vaikuntha Lokas are superior planets, rest on the effulgence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, Yasya Prabha Prabhavato Jagadanda Koti, the Brahman effulgence emanating from the body of the Supreme Lord creates innumerable planets in both the spiritual and material worlds. Thus, these planets are creations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The astrologer saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be the very same personality of Godhead. We can just imagine how learned he was. Yet he was traveling door to door just like an ordinary beggar for the highest benefit of human society. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Sandhya Mataji, are you available to read?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Please read.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Seeing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be the same absolute truth, the Supreme Brahman, the personality of Godhead, the astrologer was confused. Purport. Herein it is clearly indicated that the absolute truth, the Supreme Brahman, is in the ultimate issue, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, a person is the beginning of all things. As confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 10.8, Mata Sarvam Pravartate. Everything begins from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Lord is the Supreme Living Entity. Therefore, whatever exists, whether matter or spirit, is all but an emanation from the Supreme Person or Supreme Life. The modern scientist theory that life begins from matter is nonsense. Both matter and life begin from life. Unfortunately, the scientists do not know this scientific fact. They are drifting in the darkness of their so-called knowledge. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Lalit Mohan Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Translation. Struck with wonder, the astrologer remained silent, unable to speak. But when the Lord again put the question before him, he replied as follows. Translation, my dear sir. In your previous birth, you were the shelter of all creation, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, full of all opulences. Translation. You are now the same personality of Godhead that you were in your previous birth. Your identity is inconceivable eternal happiness. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. By the power of astrological science, one can even ascertain the position of Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everything is to be identified by its symptoms. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is identified by the symptoms mentioned in the Shastras. It is not that anyone and everyone can become God without proof or from Shastras. Hare Krishna.
Raju Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Translation. When the astrologer was speaking so highly of him, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stopped him and began to smile. My dear sir, he said, I think you do not know you do not know very clearly what I was. For I know that my previous birth I was a covered by. Translation. In my last birth, I was born in the family of cowherd men, and I gave protection to the cows. Because of such pious activities, I have now become the son of a Brahmana. Purport. The words of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the greatest authority, herein clearly indicate that one becomes pious simply by keeping cows and protecting them. Unfortunately, people have become such rascals that they do not even care about the words of the authority. People generally consider cowherd men lowly members of society, but here in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu confirms that they are so pious that in the next in their next lives, they are going to be Brahmanas. The caste system has a specific purpose. In this scientific system is followed, human society will get the greatest benefit. Heeding this instruction by the Lord, people should serve cows and calves, and in return get ample quantities of milk. There is no loss in serving cows and calves, but modern human society has become so degraded that instead of giving protection to the cows and serving them, people are killing them. How can they expect peace and prosperity in human society while committing such sinful activities? It is impossible. Hare Krishna.
Sapan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Translation. The astrologer said, "What I saw in meditation was full of opulence, and therefore I was confused." Purport. It appears that the astrologer not only was a knower of past, present, and future through astrological calculation, but was a great meditator as well. Therefore, he was a great devotee and could see Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to be the same personality as Krishna. He was puzzled, however, about whether Krishna and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were actually the same person. Hare Krishna.
Gaurav Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Gaurav Prabhu, are you available to read? Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Prabhuji.
I just wanted to add a point here, Prabhuji. Gaurav Prabhu is not there. Like, what is the significance of astrology?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I'm here.
Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So he was puzzled, however, about the Krishna and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were actually the same person.
Which one are you reading, Prabhuji?
I think the last one. Okay, so I was supposed to read this one because the last sentence he did not finish it. So because of that, only I finished the last sentence.
Okay.
Okay. So now I'll start from 113, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. I'm certain that your form and the form I saw in my meditation are one and the same. If I see any difference, this is an act of your illusory energy. Purport. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahi Anya. In the version of a perfect devotee, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a combination of Radha and Krishna. One who sees Lord Chaitanya to be different from Krishna is under the illusionary energy of the Lord. It appears that the astrologer was already an advanced devotee, and when he came into the presence of the Supreme Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he became perfectly self-realized and could see that the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are one and the same Supreme Person. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Yeah, Lalit Mohan Prabhu, please check in.
Yes, Mataji and Prabhuji, actually, I just wanted to convey one point regarding these astrologers, okay, in our own life, like Siddhanti or Ranta, and who says our future and past. How shall a devotee take that actually? There is a good explanation of how devotee should take. See, astrology or our jata karma or our jatakam, depends upon our past life. Based on our past life's inclinations, we will come to know how we will go ahead in our lives. Okay? But in pure Vaishnava philosophy, Jataka doesn't have any significance. Why? In our own parampara, there is one personality whose name is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Okay? Guru Maharaj of Srila Prabhupada. So he is the best astrologer at that time. In the world, he was the best astrologer. Not one of the best. He is the best. So such is the knowledge of him in the Surya Siddhanta. And what happened to him? He has written 3 books actually. of how a time can be calculated for several thousands and millions of years. That's what his greatness is. So you give whatever time to him, he will calculate it and he'll say what was the constellation then and how would times prevail then. Okay, and what are the kinds of people who used to stay then, and what are the kinds of animals who used to stay, and what is the content of water, what is the content of sun. So to this extent he can go. He used to write. So he was the best of the all astrologers which we have at that point of time in the world. But then what happened? His guru is now not accepting him. You know, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji rejected him for 16 times to give initiation, always saying that I am very, I'm not as great as you. Please don't make me great, by asking me initiation from you. And what would Bhakti Vinod Thakur, who is none other than father of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. You know this, na? In our Guru Parampara, small photos, you have this at the extreme end up to the left. Mataji, can you show that pictures of them?
Yes, Prabhuji.
ISKCON Guru Parampara from Mataji. You can type that. Yeah. So the second from the left, who is in saffron? No.
This
from
is
the left.
Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati.
He is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And his father is Bhakti Vinod Thakur. Okay, who is sitting second from the right. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur always used to give an instruction to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. You go and get initiation from Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. And Gaur Kishore Das Babaji is such a humble person. Who is Gaur Kishore Das Babaji? The one in the center, in the white. Yes. He would never give initiation to anyone. And in whole his lifetime, he only give initiation to one person, that is Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Okay. But how did he give that initiation? After requesting him for 17th time. At the 17th time, he gave him the initiation. So Gaur Kishore Das Babaji didn't give initiation just like that to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. When did he give? The moment Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati realized that all my education is necessary, because my guru is taunting me because of the education which I have. Now let me do one thing. Whatever Siddhantas he has written in the astrological calculations, he just, thrown all of those Siddhantas in Ganga. Then lying flat, he has paid again Dandavat and said that, hey Guru Maharaj, now you should accept me because now I am free from the knowledge which I have. Then Gaur Kishore Das Babaji said one thing, what is the use of Surya Siddhanta and what is the use of any person in this material world knowing what is his past and what is his future when he is about to stay here only. The only good you can do to them is to bring them from the cycle of birth and death. Till that time, whatever Siddhanta, whatever astrology, whatever future or past you give them, there is of no use. Okay, this is the instruction has been given by whom?
Gaur Kishore Das Babaji.
Gaur Kishore Das Babaji before giving initiation to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Okay, so in devotee's perspective, in a pure devotee's perspective, Siddhanta or calculations of astrology doesn't have any significance, but at the same time, for sadhakas like us, we should actually know, what our past is. Why? Because we will have that inclinations, okay, and we might do some Vaishnava aparadh because of our nature, very deep rooted nature of us. We might do some aparadh. So we should know what we are about to become, and we should go inside deep into the bhakti by sadhana, so that mischief will not happen with us in our future. Very complex, huh? Bahut philosophy ho gaya. I'm sorry, but see, generally in devotee's life. What we say, this Siddhantam or the Jatakam, to how much extent we should take it. That is what our point is. Okay, हम कितना तक ले सकते हैं हमारे जातक को, मतलब जातकम मीन्स हमारे क्या है, what is it? Astrology, our astrological calculations. To how much extent can we take it? To that extent, to know our nature. Okay. See, according to my astrological calculations, I would become something like this in this, in this lifetime. This is what my future has been decided based upon my past karma. Okay. But will we take it as 100% that I will only become like that and I will not become like anything? No, we have a free will of 15 to 20% in our lifetimes. In our lifetime, okay? We should use that 15% to completely dedicate ourselves to Krishna. So this is the challenge which we have taken in this lifetime. So that our future, which is already based upon our astrological calculations, will be changed. So, to what extent can we take our astrological calculations? To only know, in us, we have some deep-rooted, what is it? Alavatu. What is it? Habits. We have some deep-rooted habits. This is based on our past. So, if our astrological calculator said us that, you will have this nature. You will have this nature of becoming irritated very early, very fast. You have this nature of just just believing in anybody and anyone. All this nature of us is based on our what? Our past. So whenever any drawback has been told to us by our astrological calculator, what we should do? We should be cautious. And we should always go deep into the Prabhupada's books, so that in future, whenever that innate quality of us comes out, we should be prayerful and be cautious that it should not be applied, at least in bhakti. To that extent only, we can read this, all our astronomical calculations, okay? Not more than that. Why? According to pure devotees, there is no astrological calculations only for him.
Yes, Prabhuji.
The whole astrological Surya Siddhanta has been completely, wiped off in Ganga. Only then the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur could get initiation. So the significance is, there is no significance in pure devotees' lives, but we as a sadhakas, we can take this till that point that our past nature, due to our past nature, we will have some inclinations or we will have some habits which are bad to our bhakti. So we should be cautious that we should not have those habits come into our bhakti. To that extent only, we should take our astronomical calculations. Okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Prabhuji and Mataji, could anyone understand this, what I said? Or is it very complex, or shall we leave it here on?
No, Prabhuji. Understood.
Rest?
Yes.
So basically what you said is that whatever is written in our charts, we should not think of it as a futuristic prediction. We should just understand what is our nature according to that, because nature does not change. Nature comes because of our past karmas. There are some deep-rooted habits and nature. To understand and to divert that into the devotional service only is the guidance that we can take from the chart. Is that right, Prabhuji?
Yes, that is not more than that. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes, if some astrologer come and tell you that you are going to be a very rich man in your life, right? Just don't go deep into it, because every time you clap in front of Lord, Supreme Lord, the whole rekhas change on your hand. So those astronomical calculations might not be correct according to you, because you are already grabbed by Krishna Graha. That's why you are coming here and chanting. Okay. So things will not go as per their calculations in our lifetimes who are surrendered to the Lord or who has taken the process of Krishna consciousness.
Prabhuji, whatever we are doing in this life, what are the karmas we are doing in this life, so we have to bear in this janma only, or we have to go for next janma?
No, what you have?
Whatever you are doing the karmas in this life, we have to bear those results in this janma only, or we have to go for next janma to bear those results of the
Prabhuji, that depends upon how you are surrendered to the Lord, Prabhuji, to be frank. You know, if Durga Devi thinks that you are not ready enough, she will give you many chances to take birth here only. If our jailer, Durga Devi, thinks that, you are not qualified enough, then she will leave. In whatever way the case is, karma, what is a karma quotient or the reminder of karma, it's very, very hard to calculate, Prabhu. Very hard. Only Krishna and your soul, that is a connection between these two. How your soul is hankering to go back home, back to Godhead. So in some cases, Prabhuji, if you do your devotional service properly, all your karma will be get ridden within this lifetime. If Krishna thinks that you are not ready enough, then he will give you many more lifetime chances to increase that spiritual balance.
Okay.
And one more chat I got. What is it? Yeah, what about doshas, pujas? As I heard Lord Shiva, Durga, Kartikeya, Rahu, Ketu interfere with our grahas and give miseries. Yes, Matajis, those miseries are all there according to our past karma. There is no doubt. Miseries comes due to karma, our past karma. And these doshas, rahus, ketus, they are there. Okay? And you have many pujas or some sacrifices by which you can get rid of all these things. But to do what? To again stay in this material world and enjoy. No? So that is where the Prabhupada's books and the Vaishnava philosophy comes. अरे इधर रहना ही मतलब खराब है. दोष वोष तो हम ऑलरेडी लेके आए हैं अपने जन्म से, ठीक है? Yeah, if it is really there and we are really being disturbed by that, then you can do this whatever yajna or whatever dana has been ordered by that, what we say, astrologer. You should do it. But why we are doing it? So that our devotional life should be very peaceful and joyful. Okay? Is it okay, Lavanya Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, we don't deny any shastras, Mataji. Or we don't, what is say, do any, what is, mana halam cheyam watu. Man nijanga namatam, because that's also part of Vedas. So we really respect it. But for our for our bhakti to grow, we should keep it where it is. We should be very, determined that I should increase my bhakti somehow or other in this lifetime. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I have one doubt, Prabhuji. Lord Shiva is the first Vaishnava, right, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
In this case, why, Prabhuji, in our Sampradaya, we don't pray to Lord Shiva?
Who said we don't pray, Prabhuji?
No, even if you go to any our satsangas or in temple also, in ISKCON temples also, there will be no Lord Shiva, right? Even if he is first Vaishnava. I'm getting confusion. Why?
Because it's not like that. It's not like that actually. In many ISKCON temples also, you find Lord Ganapati at the door.
Yeah, Lord Ganapati.
Yeah.
Lord Shiva. So we got some questions from others. That's the reason I could not able to answer them.
Yeah. See, actually, what happens is, Lord Shiva, even though he is a great Vaishnava, he is so merciful that he gives his association more to whom? Bhuta Pretala. Right? To him, he gives his more association. So, and that is the only hope for them. But for Vaishnavas, there are a lot of hopes, no? For them, he is the only hope, so he goes and roams there. And when we keep Lord Shiva in the temples of the Vaishnava cult, generally what happens is, people from that background will come here and they start, glorifying Lord in that way. When we are in Shuddha Sattva, we are about to become, in the path of Shuddha Sattva. Lord Shiva doesn't want those people to come here and, change the mood of it. So that is the reason why he will not be glorified enough in the temples. But it doesn't mean we are degrading him. We always to give him the due respect what he needed. Prabhuji, many of the devotees, they are Shiva Bhaktas and Sai Bhaktas before coming into devotional service, Prabhuji.
Yeah, that is there.
And they respect him the way he is. But yes, keeping in the altar and all, yes, it is not there because that is a standard which the Vaishnavas are following from the start. And why he is not being kept? Because the negative energies will also come, which cannot be bared by the devotees.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing else, Prabhuji. It's not that we are demeaning him by not keeping him in the altar. Okay, we always give him the due respects. And you know this, no? There is a Vishnu coefficient, like Vishnu Tattva we call it. And Lord Shiva is the only one who is having the highest Vishnu Tattva in the whole world, in the universe.
80% ade kada Prabhuji.
Yes, 88% is. And after that we have only Vishnu. So, of course, we cannot say those things, Prabhuji, but still we give him the due respect what he needs. And many devotees go also to the temples, Prabhuji, temples of Shiva, but not keeping in the altar of Vaishnava temple. It has some meaning in it, Prabhuji, because people from Shamshan Ghat with that kind of nature directly comes to the temple and spoils the mood here, because they have that mood of ignorance, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Prabhu, three places now. Prabhu, let me tell you, there are only 3 places in this material world where the emotions are very, very high.
Okay.
One is temple, Prabhu. The second one is Samshan Ghat. The third one is hospital. Okay, hospital, that means that whenever there is a death, right? These are the 3 places where the emotions are in complete extreme levels. Now, you can't just bring the negative emotions directly from Samshan Ghat to the temple. That doesn't go well like that.
But maybe Prabhuji, what Chandramauli Prabhu is asking is, when a third person, a layman, is asking us, what is the answer we are supposed to give?
He is a great Vaishnava and we always respect him the way. And he is actually, we are followers of him only in one way or other. But we are not in a position to give shelter to those kind of people. That's it.
Okay.
మేమంత గొప్పవాళ్ళం కాదు బాబు, శివుడు ఇచ్చినంత గొప్పవాళ్ళం మేమైతే కాదు బాబు, కానీ ఆయనే మా మొత్తం పరమ వైష్ణవుడు అంతే. మేమందరం ఆయన అడుగు జాడలో నడుచుకుంటున్నామని చెప్పాలి ప్రభుజీ. And we always respect him. Why we are not keeping it here? Because the negative the emotions are the extreme, at the extreme of our diagonal point.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay.
We'll go with the prayers, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. One question, Mataji, last.
Yeah, please ask, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, I mean, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, why don't you he can give initiation to his son, right? Prabhuji, means why he didn't give, or like?
So this is all a game plan, Prabhuji. He knows that what we say, Gauri Kishore Das Babaji is the most humblest person. When my son gets initiated from such a humble person, automatically he will make my son very humble. So that is what Prabhuji, ISKCON, the leaders of ISKCON, they generally don't search for a best of the people. They search for a right people. You know this, na?
Yes,
we devotee, we don't need the best people, Prabhuji. We need the right people. So actually, this is the point which Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted to mention to all of us. by telling Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur to go to Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. See, till that time, he was the best person in the world, in his field. Okay? But Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted to make him the right person. For that, for a right person, Prabhuji, right person, money kya hai? To become more humble. So, if you are humble now, Prabhuji, or if you are right, automatically the skills will be developed into you. Skill is just nothing but a follower of a what is a discipline, Prabhuji, and humility. So these are the things. This is the thing why Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati to come or to take shelter into Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, because he is most humblest person. No? And you know what happens after that? When Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati also, after taking initiation from Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, now Gaur Kishore Das Babaji would come always and sit into the class of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, saying what? Ye Amar Prabhu, means Bhakti Siddhanta is my Prabhu. This is what he used to call. Prabhuji, you should really go, Bhumi Tavesh local kelpoina anta humble ga undali Prabhuji, actually man. That is what these people show to us. Our acharyas, when you read about them, Prabhuji, you will really know what past you have, what history you have, and what kind of. Okay, we'll make a series of this, Prabhuji. We will discuss about these acharyas only. We will at least spend 1 year about knowing the glories of these 34 acharyas which we have, and the alvars which we have. Okay, that's a very big topic actually. But if you see them, the humility just gets outpoured like that by every of these personalities, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Now I have given a lot of. Oh, Hare Bol. Yes, Prabhuji, shall we go?
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, all the information that you give is very useful. So please never say that.
Yes, Prabhuji, because we are very much interested to know these things, Prabhuji, because.
Correct, Prabhuji. These are basic things we should know before.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, but the thing is humility. Humility is very important. That is the reason Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati has taken initiation from Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. And Gaur Kishore Das Babaji is so humble that he used to come and listen always to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, saying that ye Amar Prabhu. Very deep, Prabhuji, very deep. We cannot just understand them like that. Ultimately, humility is everything. And that is the greatest of the ornament for Vaishnava, and it is the least things which we will see in the outside world. Okay. Hare Krishna. Mataji, 15th completed?
Yes, Prabhuji, manna complete chesam kada.
Everyone done, 15?
ఆ రోజు మీరు ఎవరైతే చేయలేదో వాళ్ళతో కూడా చేయించారు మీరు.
Okay.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Sumita Mataji, boliye.
Prabhuji, ఒకసారి శ్లోక చేయరా Prabhuji?
No. These devotees will do who has already visited on the day. Okay.
మీరు రిపీట్ చేయండి Prabhuji ఒకసారి.
त्वं नित्यमुक्त परिशुद्ध विबुद्ध आत्मा कूटस्थ आदि पुरुषो भगवान् त्रदीशः यद्बुद्ध्यवस्थितिम् अखण्डितया सदृष्ट्या द्रष्टास्थितावधिमको व्यतिरिक्त आसे.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay. Shall we go to 16, Mataji? Mataji and Prabhuji, shall we go to 16?
Yes, Prabhuji. After this is over, this is the last shloka. Then after that, manamu konni rojulu anni shlokas every participant will do next week. Atla cheddam.
Okay, Mataji. We'll go slowly but steadily.
Yeah. Okay, Prabhuji.
So this is the easiest shloka of all the shlokas. Okay. And just before going into the shloka, let me give you a very these are the kind of shlokas where the impersonalist will take you and beat you left and right out of the bush. Okay. They will just beat you around. So always, whenever we know the meanings, we read the meanings or translations of these shlokas. What should we do? We should directly go to the translation, purport. Why? The purport is given by whom? His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. See, just by reading the translation of this, I will read the translation of this. You can understand how the impersonalism is being glorified here. My dear Lord, in your impersonal manifestation of Brahman, there are always two opposing elements, knowledge and ignorance. Your multi-energies are continually manifest, but the impersonal Brahman, which is undivided, original, changeless, unlimited, and blissful, is the cause of material manifestation. Because you are the same impersonal Brahman, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. So what is that? You are impersonal Brahman. Okay. Generally, what is impersonalist take this shloka and they say that impersonalist Brahman is the supreme, the Lord. It's not like the supreme Lord has an impersonal aspect. They say that impersonal Brahman is itself a supreme Lord also. So this is where the personalists and Dvaita and Advaita comes in between. And that is the reason why we should always go into the purports of all these shlokas, this kind of shlokas. Okay, we should go very deep. Prabhupada will actually give us the proper meaning of how we should understand this. Today, complete class only, everywhere. Even this shloka also, class only. Hare Krishna. Okay, Mataji, we will go with the synonyms and the words.
Yes, Prabhuji, please continue.
Yes. What happens now? The purport should be studied by everyone. Each one paragraph. Please read that purport and please concentrate on this. Please concentrate on this purport. It's very, very important purports these are. Mataji, you can lead. You should read the purport properly. If you read the purport twice or thrice also, it's okay. But we will go slowly because it's very important.
Yes, Prabhuji. Should we start with translation?
Yeah, translation and then purport. And you do read purport 3 times. Whoever devotees are reading, we will only read purport, and the last stanza of this purport is very, very important. Okay?
Okay, Prabhuji. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. My dear Lord, in your impersonal manifestation of Brahman, there are always two opposing elements, knowledge and ignorance. Your multi-energies are continually manifest, but the impersonal Brahman, which is undivided, original, changeless, unlimited, and blissful, is the cause of material manifestation. Because you are the same impersonal Brahman, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Purport. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that unlimited impersonal Brahman is the effulgence of the transcendental body of Govinda. In that unlimited effulgent aura of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there are innumerable universes with innumerable planets of different categories. Although the Supreme Person is the original cause of all causes, his impersonal effulgence, known as Brahman, is the immediate cause of material manifestation. Dhruv Maharaj therefore offered his respectful obeisances unto the impersonal feature of the Lord. One who realizes this impersonal feature can enjoy the unchangeable Brahmananda described here as spiritual bliss. Samyukta Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Please do the next slide.
Okay, Mataji. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura describes that this impersonal feature or Brahman manifestation of the Supreme Lord is meant for persons who are essentially very advanced but still not able to understand the personal features or variegatedness of the spiritual world. Such devotees are known as Gnana Mishra Bhaktas or devotees whose devotional service is mixed with empiric knowledge, because the impersonal Brahman realization is a partial understanding of the absolute truth. Dhruva Maharaj offers his respectful obeisances.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji, please read.
It is said that this impersonal Brahman is the distant realization of the absolute truth. Although apparently Brahman seems to be devoid of energy, factually it has different energies working under the headings of knowledge and ignorance. On account of these different energies, there is continually a manifestation of Vidya and Avidya. Vidya and Avidya are very nicely described in Ishopanishad. It is said there that sometimes, due to Avidya or a poor fund of knowledge, one accepts the absolute truth as ultimately impersonal. But in fact, the impersonal and personal realizations develop in proportion to the development of devotional service. The more we develop our devotional service, the more closely we approach the absolute truth, which in the beginning, when we realize the absolute truth from a distant place, is manifest as impersonal.
Yeah. Stapan Prabhu, you can read.
Hare Krishna. People in general who are under influence of Avidya Shakti or Maya neither have neither knowledge nor devotion. But when a person who is a little advanced and is therefore called a Jnani advances even more, he is in the category of a Jnana Mishra Bhakta, or a devotee whose love is mixed with empiric knowledge. When he is still further advanced, he can realize that the absolute truth is a person with multi-energies. An advanced devotee can understand the Lord and his creative energy. As soon as one accepts the creative energy of the absolute truth, the six opulences of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are also understood. Devotees who are still further advanced in full knowledge can understand the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Only on that platform can one fully enjoy transcendental bliss. An example is given in this connection by Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur of a person proceeding towards a destination. As he approaches, he sees the destination from a distant place, just as we see a city from a distance. At that time, he simply understands that a city is situated at a distance. When he comes still near, however, he sees the domes and flags. But as soon as he enters the city, he sees various paths, gardens, lakes, marketplaces with shops and persons buying. He sees varieties of cinema houses and he sees dancing and jubilation. When a person actually enters the city and personally sees the activities of the city, he becomes satisfied. Hare Krishna.
So this last purport, the last stanza, he says that only when we enter inside completely inside this impersonal Brahman, then we know that there is a spiritual world is also full of person. Okay, it is activities. It's not like an effulgence. Effulgence can be felt only from the far. So whoever thinks that Lord Supreme Lord is impersonal Brahman, he is not such advanced. That's what Prabhupada meant to say in this whole purport. Okay. So when Dhruv Maharaj prays and that I am offering that namaskar to even this impersonal Brahman, it doesn't mean that impersonal Brahman is great, but it says yes, someone has at least started his journey towards you, Krishna. So I even offer my respectful obeisances to that thing also which he can see. What is that thing which he can see? He can see impersonal Brahman. Okay. So with this saying, it's 8:56. So I will just recite this once today or thrice today, and you can go with the meanings and synonyms from tomorrow.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yasmin viruddha gatayo henisham pasyanti. Yes. Yes, Prabhuji. Someone said anything?
No, Prabhuji. Now everybody is muted.
Yasmin viruddha gatayo henisham patanti vidyadayo vividashaktaya anupurvyat tad brahma vishvabhavamekamanaantamadyam anandamatramavikaramahamam prapadye. I will read it 2 times more. Yasmin viruddha gatayo henisham patanti vidyadayo vividashaktaya anupurvyat tad brahma vishvabhavamekamanaantamadyam anandamatramavikaramahamam prapadye. यस्मिन् विरुद्धगतयो निशं पतन्ति विद्यादयो विविधशक्तय आनुपूर्व्यात् तद्ब्रह्म विश्वभवमेकमनन्तमाद्यम् आनन्दमात्रमविकारमहं प्रपद्ये. So now please go with the synonyms and translation.
Raj, synonyms chestara. Chandramani Prabhu దాని తర్వాత translation చేయండి.
Okay, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Synonyms. Yasmin, in whom. Viruddha, viruddhagataya, of opposite character. He, certainly. Anisham, always. Patanti, or manifest. Vidya ahadayaha, knowledge and ignorance, etc. Vividha, various. Shaktyaha, energies. Anupurvat, continually. Tat, that. Brahman. Vishwabhavam, the cause of material creation. Ekam, one. Anantam, unlimited. Adyam, original. Ananda matram, simply blissful. Avikaram, changeless. Aham, I. Prapadye, offer my obeisances. Hare Krishna.
Chandramani Prabhu, translation.
Hare Krishna. My dear Lord, in our impersonal manifestation of Brahman, there are always two opposing elements, knowledge and ignorance. Your multi-energies are continually manifest, but the impersonal Brahman, which is undivided, original, changeless, unlimited, and blissful, is the cause of the material manifestation. Because you are the same personal Brahman, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Hare Krishna.
Lalit Mohan Prabhu, should more people do it?
Yes, Mataji. We will just make it read two more times and then we will end it here, Mataji.
Yeah, Prabhu.
You can end the call, Mataji, then.
Yeah, okay. Samyukta Mataji, ఒకసారి synonyms చేయండి. Ramreddy Prabhu ఉన్నారా?
Yeah, Mataji, I'll do it, Mataji.
Okay. You want to do the synonyms, then Samyukta Mataji can do the translation.
Sure, Mataji. Synonyms. Yasmin, in whom. Viruddhagataya, of opposite character. He, certainly. Anisham, always. Patanti, or manifest. Vidyadaya, knowledge and ignorance, etc. Vividha, various. Shaktaya, energies. Anupuryavat, Anupuryavat, continually.
Anupurvyat.
Okay, Prabhu, thank you. Anupurvyat, continually. Anupurvyat, continually. Tat, that. Brahman. Vishwabhavam, the cause of material creation. Ekam, one. Anantam, unlimited. Adhyam, original. Anandamatram, simply blissful. Avikaram, changeless. Aham, I. Prapadye, offer my obeisances.
Translation. My dear Lord, in your impersonal manifestation of Brahman, there are always two opposing elements, knowledge and ignorance. Your multi-energies are continually manifest, but the impersonal Brahman, which is undivided, original, changeless, unlimited, and blissful, is the cause of material manifestation. Because you are the same impersonal Brahman, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Hare Krishna.
Should I conclude the call or you want to do the shloka 3 times again?
Myself, Mataji, you
Yeah,
asking me?
Yeah.
You can conclude the call, Mataji. It's already 9:59 to 9:03. We will conclude it.
Okay, Prabhuji. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंतकोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. श्रीला प्रपात बुक रीडिंग की जय. श्रीमद् भगवत गीता की जय. श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining, everybody.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.